Hey, 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 and we're live. It's Steve Guy. It is 5 9 2019, roughly 10, excuse me, roughly 10:30, 10:21 in the evening. Sorry, I haven't updated in a couple of days. Had some stuff going on. But, hey, just wanted to get back in the swing of things. I, uh, First, I guess I'll talk about what I've been up to the last couple of days as far as the market's been going, how the market's generally been moving, and then get into some other information. So, as you may be aware, the the market is currently in flux. The SPY is up and down and all over the place, and rising tide lifts all ships, and it also will sink them. Correct. Um, so Donald Trump um, tweeted out some information last weekend and sent the market into a turmoil. This had to do with the U.S.-China trade agreement, and at about in a couple of hours, we'll either have a deal or he has threatened that um, there will be an additional 15% tariff on all China goods. That would kill a lot of different stocks, or put them in a little bit world of hurt. Would be like Alibaba. So many of the Asian stocks or the Chinese stocks. So the stock market's been in flux. It's been up, it's been down, it's been left, it's right, it's been chopping all over the place. And then that it has taken no prisoners. I have not had a green day all week. Should have had one today, but made a huge mistake, and so I'm going to kind of cover some of that here in the next couple of minutes. But I want to kind of talk about. Um, um, I'm going to talk about where we are, or where I am as far as the account goes, and then I'll also go ahead and talk about some changes I've made in the last. Actually, today was the first day, but yeah. So let's just go over and just go ahead and talk about the account. Starting the week off, was doing okay. I think I was up like 30, 40 bucks, and I decided to really go this strategy of just kind of day trading options, and that's not a good way to go. Just being honest with you. So, what I did is I purchased a Microsoft option, which was a 17 May 17 126 call, which is currently kicking my butt for around $134 loss. So I've been carrying that one. The UPS, same one I've been carrying for a few weeks now, is still down $97. XLNX is still down, and with this trade and agreement issue, yeah, not looking so hot on those. I went ahead and purchased some Fred stock. I mean, it's 60. I got in at like 68, 60, I believe 68 cents. Purchased 100. It was around $1.20, and then ran into some bad earnings yesterday, the day before. So I think on 5/6 it had some bad earnings. It wasn't bad. It was off like like a couple pennies or something. So it did go down. And then I'll talk about AETI, which I'm sorry, that's not the one. That was really just a kind of a small play for a few bucks. Wanted to see if it was going to spike, maybe make 5 or 10 bucks here or there, kind of deal, and end up hitting my stop loss for 90 cents. So yeah, it was what it was. TBLT, TBLT, I instituted my new um, philosophy today, and TBLT was the first stock. It really was the the main stock that I traded today, and so I'm going to go over that. But first, I'm going to kind of talk about a few things that I've learned, and that hopefully will help you in your journey, or you can be amused by my journey. One is the philosophy of trading. When I first got into trading, which has now been about a month and a half, I wanted to know about technical analysis, charts. I wanted to know about candlesticks, patterns, I wanted to know about options, the Greeks. Um, I wanted to know about shorting, longing. I wanted to know everything that I could find. Iron condors and all these different things. And the one thing that I had read and saw was like, hey, make sure that you look up and learn the psychology of trading. And for me, that's hogwash, and so I just bypassed that and went directly to the information. I figure, hey, I'm a smart guy. I can look at the information and make decisions myself, and move on, make millions of dollars, right? Well, if you look back on some other videos, you'll notice, I talk about how I saw a pattern and didn't trade it, or I was apprehensive, this or that, this or that. Well, that is the psychology of trading. So, or it is covered by that umbrella. And so, what I've come to realize over the last couple of days is that the psychology of trading is actually, I think, almost or more important than the technicals. I think we can all agree. We can look at a chart. We can look at something. I don't know, like the SPY, for instance. And let me hide this here. And yeah, I know this is a very drawn up um, graph, but I think we could look in here and we could say, hey, I don't know a lot about trading, but let's see if I can find something very obvious. Um, well, we can get in here, right? And we can tell, oh, hey, here comes my 200-day moving average, and I really got the golden cross, right? I've got the golden cross. I've got I believe I've got this set to a 20. Let's just make it, yeah, I've got this set to 20. My 20 moving average, I know it's supposed to be like the 50, but my 20 moving average has now crossed over my 200. And, I've got green, I've got, green candles, I've got this big old thick candle, pullback. And, oh, it's time to make money. Right, we can see that. But when you're gun shy and all these things are happening, you're not mindful of what's currently happening, right? And this is all you see. And I'm just trying to move it out of the way, right? This is all you see right here, and you're like, oh man, that's a bull flag. This is going up. I got my my thing here. I've got my green candle, which closed out over the top of. Made a new high in this pattern here. Oh, I've got the. Let me. I don't know if I'm gonna get in or not. Next thing you know, you see this one and you get scared and you're in this one. Now you've went and you've lost like 40, 50 cents. You've lost a little bit of money there, right? And then what if it turns on you? But the point is that I'm trying to make is that the psychology is extremely important to trading. So I'll pair that off with something else, which is that I watched some videos, and the best analogy that I've gotten, that I've taken to heart, is that if you go and I'm sorry, let me make sure this isn't feeding back. It may be. I'm going to mute that. And if that has been, I apologize. I hope that that's been bearable there for a few minutes. But here it is that if you go and you decide you want to get into sports and you see a guy and he's playing tennis and you go up to the guy and say, hey man, I think I want to get into tennis. And he starts really teaching you, and maybe he's a superstar, right? And then you see Tiger Woods walk by, and you're like, "Hey, let me teach me how to play golf," right? And then a few days later, you're like, "Man, that was awesome." You see, I don't know, Greg Louganis or someone like that. Oh, I want to learn how to dive, and you do learn a lot of different things. And I'm not trying to downgrade any of that, but you don't get the opportunity to be great at anything. And so that's what I've been doing, I think, in my journey, is that I have been trying to be great at many things, and I have really, and it really speaks to my life and my career outside of trading. But kind of a jack of all trades, and which makes you a master of none. And in this market, a master of none, basically you just should just cash your check and your funds, cash out your funds, and just send it directly to, I don't know, so pick a charitable organization. So I say that to say that I've decided that I was going to focus, that I'm going to focus on one thing, and that I'm going to start extremely narrowing my focus on. I'm no longer going to look at options. Um, I'm not going to try to learn about VWAP fades. I'm not going to try to learn about shorting, right? Because I can't short on my account anyway, and I can't, no sense of me learning it and putting a lot of time into it so that I can short it, in a year or something, whenever I'm able to not worry about when I can get a margin account over 25,000, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to find all these different oscillators and momentum scanners momentum scanners, all these different indicators. I'm not gonna try to learn, all these different things. I'm still gonna use the Ichimoku for looking at trades, as far as staying in trades and stuff like that. But there's no sense in me trying all these different things out to see what I really, really like, right? So I need to narrow down, find out, what size stocks I'm going to look at. And anybody who's familiar with Ross Cameron, I think I'm really going to try to mirror what he's doing. And some of the philosophies and some of the psychology videos that I've watched talk about, find out what is you, not what someone else, not what some other person on the internet, any of those things. How do you trade, and what trading strategy really works best with your lifestyle? And I agree with that with the most part, but and I don't know if Ross Cameron's style is exactly where I'll end up, but for now, I believe in it. I understand it. I don't know that I can necessarily execute it 100% yet, but I kind of get it. I'm going to marry that with just saying that I don't know all that he does. I just kind of understand what he's looking for, and then after that, it's right. His main thing is, well, not main thing, but one of his strategies is look for the bull flag, right? And then he trades the bull flag, and that's cool. That's what I'm going to start with. I'm gonna become the master of the bull flag. I'm gonna sleep, eat, drink that thing till I know and I can feel when it's coming, and then be prepared for it. And then I'm thinking I'm also going to marry in other candle patterns that can also assist me in that. So identify a stock, right, that's moving on the day, low float, somewhere between $2 to $10, something that's ran before. And I'm definitely give him props, right? This is not my creation. I've listened to him, and I'm sure there's so much more involved in it. I really do enjoy Ross Cameron, enjoy what he teaches. And this is just where I am and what I've learned, and all credit to him. But I'm gonna stay in those realms, right? And then I'm going to I'm going to start using the stop losses, right? So my whole thing was, hey, I'm going to let my runners run, and I'll use my own self, and I'll stop loss myself, and things move too rapidly for that. I don't think it's possible all the time, especially with Thinkorswim and myself with my abilities, to be able to get in and out of trades as quickly as I need to. So I'm going to use the stop loss mechanism and the limit so that I can auto sell. And so just to go over for real quick. I won't take too long. So what I've done is I've created a 2-to-1 is what I'm calling it. And it's very simple, right? I come in here and this is 2-to-1. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Maybe because it's after hours, possibly. Yeah, I'm not sure honestly why it's doing this. Um, but you know, so it said it here. Yeah, it's not going to let me to do that, which I didn't really want to do. Maybe I can just do it on demand real quick. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's. I may have to stop it and start it again. But we'll go into like swear here, and so I would set that I'm going to buy 1,000 shares or whatever, and then I would set my 2-to-1, come down here, and that's still broke. Okay, I'll do it here, and then I'll say it's a plus 10, and it's a negative 0.05. Okay, and then sorry, not 05, just 5. Right? Come on. It's a negative 5. Okay. Yeah. So that's supposed to be there. And then this would be 5. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be up here. So it's 234, 240. Whatever. It'd be like right in there. And maybe it's because this is such a wide margin, I think is the issue. Let me go down here into this $5 stock, which yeah, and I select that 2-to-1. Jeez. Oh, it's still too spread out. Oh well, let me find a dollar type stock. Okay. Okay. All right. So there we go. And then I'll go down here. Okay, and then go 2-to-1. There we go. Okay. So I might say, that I want to buy, right here. I'm going to buy it a penny over, and then basically, if I buy it at 190, I want to sell it at this one right here be set at 2. This one would be set at 5. Right? It's 5 back, 10 up. And so what that allows, that allows me to do, what that does is, if I purchase in at 189 and the stock runs up, since it has $2, it's out. If it were to drop, it would hit the 185 and stop me out. And I haven't been using those, and I thought, I'll just do it myself, But here's the honest truth: is you can't do it. You can do it with hotkeys, but I do know that one thing that I'll show you. Here's one issue that I have. Oh well. Okay, so we'll just ignore that, right? So it's purchase here. So once I'm in the trade, right, I have a tendency. So I have now set a rule that that I'm going to enforce upon myself, and that is if the stop loss up here, right, was set to 10, which means I'm going to get 10 cents on this trade, and while 1,000 shares, that's great. That makes pretty good change. If it did go up 10, it doesn't work on all necessary trades, and sometimes you may need to get out early. But here's what I am not going to do any longer starting today, and that is whatever I set it to. If I set it at 10, 5, 9, 12, whatever, and that is automatically placed, I am going to force myself for now not to move this up. If it comes in at 2, the only option I'm going to give myself is to move down. So if I decide to move down to 9.6 or 9.4 because of lack of volume or things like that, then I'm lowering my amount of profit potential. But what I'm trying to do is to get out with a profit right before it hits my stop. And I came into some of that today. And let me reset this account, turn off on demand. And so with that, I want to go look at TBLT and show you guys what happened with TBLT and what kind of was the precipice for this. So I got into TBLT today with my um, newfound methodology, my newfound strategy. And I'll be honest, when it opened, I attempted to get in. It did not allow me to get in, which thank you, Lord, but it did drop. And so I sat here and I watched it patiently, and that was a good change for me today, to sit and watch the single stock, and that's been an eye opener as well. To find my watch list, find what looks like it's going to move, and then sit and be patient. And so I watched the little gains, and I was tempted to get in, but I just didn't feel it. I didn't see it. I was waiting on the bear flag here, right? I was waiting on the bear flag, and then it sank, and I was like, okay, well. And then I saw some more green flags, and I wanted to get in. I could have got in here and made, I could have got from 115 up to 124 9 cents. That's not bad. I could have did it, but it wasn't there. It just, look at the volume was low. The volume was low, and it started gaining. But then I felt like, I'm not seeing the other part of the flag, and I felt like it was going to change. So I just kept waiting. I kept being patient, which I'm going to praise myself for, and I think I did a good job. So then, let me just look here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So then I came through here, and I started seeing this green, and I felt the dip, and I felt this looking like that it was going to run. I felt we were low. We were low on the oscillator, or on the stochastic momentum. I felt like it was coming, right? It was almost there. MACD was squashed. I knew green was coming, and I believe I got in right here. And I rode it on up, and in this range, and I got around 6-7 points, and then I got out. So I made roughly $15. And hey, $15 on 500 shares, and I was happy. So then I I probably got out right in this area, to be honest. And then I sat and watched, and I felt like it was coming again. I felt the bear flag setting up, right? And you stretch it, you can kind of see this flag happening. I see that pattern a lot. And so I jumped in, and boom, it jumped up, and I ran, and it started going down. And I got out. I was able to get out for another, I think it was around 3%, 3 cents, 4 cents, something like that, 5 cents. And I ended up making another $15. So I was up $30, and I said, "That's it. I'm out. Never go back to the cookie jar, right?" And then I went back to the cookie jar, and I got in, I think right around here, got up, and then it dropped out, and I kind of chased it a little bit and couldn't really get out with a profit. Basically, I must have come in like right up in this range or something, something silly, because I saw this doji and thought, hey, and I've got this. I think it's the not that one. It's the deliberation, which means a strong continuing pattern. But anyway, so it didn't continue up. If it went up, I'd have been happy. And anyway, so strike 3, and I'm out. I ended up, as shown here on the end of day, ended up stopping me out for a $12 total loss on all 3. So while I did do well on 2 of the 3 trades, I did not just keep my money and look for other opportunities instead of coming back to this one. So now I have a set of rules that I've been working on, and here's what I've got so far. Never enter the same trade 3 times. Obviously, that's number 1. Never play a halt on resume. I did play halt on Workhorse, and it went up from like $1.40 down to like $1.20. I got out, lost $100. If I would have held that stock through the rest of the day. It went up to $5 overnight and finished up at $3 in the morning, so I could have made 3 times my money. But yeah, and then also not pay attention to the news. Okay, so this is very important too. So let me show you here. There was TBLT. I got it in here somewhere, but I'll try. Let's see. TBLT had news today. There it is up top. They had news, and at 8:30 in the morning, this actually would have helped at 8:30 in the morning or 10:57. Yeah, somewhere like right here. Okay, so they come out with some news saying that TBLT, made something, and they got $25 million settlement, and that's what caused the run. And so that's why I was believing it was going to go higher up into this, and then there was a correction at 10:57, and the 10:57 correction basically said it wasn't 25 million, it was 2.5 million. And I remember it was like 11:30 or 11 something. It was like right in here. I figured, I think it's probably right in here. I figured the green was I thought it was gonna blast, right? So if I would have looked down at the news and saw that, I would have gotten out here and, lost it a couple of dollars. That's okay. But I still would have made some profit. But because I did not check this news when I was making the trade based on news, yeah, it cost me. So those are the 3 or 4 rules that I have so far. Yeah, so going into tomorrow, Friday, which will be tariff day, basically, we're just going back into the same old, which is going to look for $2 to $10 high volume, low float stock. Then we're going to sit and watch it, and we're going to set all of our stop losses. We're going to wait for the bull flag to show up. We're going to I'm also going to learn a couple of other candlestick patterns tonight that I want to get familiar with, just in case they appear. I'll do some back testing on those. Maybe not trade them tomorrow, but anyway. So that's my plan, is to run that same strategy every day until I'm profitable. If I make $20 a day, that's what we're going to do. We're going to earn $20 a day. We're going to $10 a day. We're going to $1 a day until we can get to a point where we're able to do it consistently. Ross Cameron and several others that I've been reviewing is you risk $1 to make $2, and so that's what I'm doing with the stop loss, and my goal for now, which is going to be to make 10 cents on every trade. Or on every stock, right? I'm going to try to run it up to 10, and that's where I'm going to take my profits. I can't get into the thing of, it may go up to $20, it may go to $100, it may go to $1,000. Well, not likely. I'm going to get my 10, and I'm going to get out, and I'm going to look for other opportunities. If there is something that I believe is going to give me 20, then I may set my stop loss at 20, or my stop limit at 20, and then I'm still not going to move north. I will only be able to move south in that assessment, and that should correct that piece. I'm also going to give myself the liberty of moving my stop gap up. So if I have a stock that starts at $1 and I've got my stop loss at -5, so at 95, if the stock goes up to 109, I'm going to give myself the ability to move the stop loss up from 109. I'm sorry, from 95 up to like 106, something along those lines, to tighten it up so that I will make a profit. But I'm not going to get into. I'm going to try not to get into moving the stop loss down. I do see instances where that stop loss does need to be lower, like in instances where it's close to support or something along those lines. But I will probably start tightening up that rule as well. And I've already kept you guys 30 minutes in. Hey, if you sat around and listened to this, thanks. thumbs up the video or whatever if you find any value in it. And I'm going to be back at it tomorrow. Going to run some live during the day. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing so that it gives me some sense of overview or accountability, so that I'm not over here doing dumb things, right? And yeah, so I'll be back live, and we'll see about making some green tomorrow. And I hope that I'm able to just kind of keep focus and move this thing forward. But hey, thanks for just keeping tabs with what I got going on. I hope there's something helpful in here that'll help you to be a better trader. And hey, thank you for your time, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye.